Well, Jeff Gordon ordinarily doesn't like a loose race car, Mike. That's very well known, and that's exactly what he's got now. He has told the crew that it is loose enough when he picks up the throttle that he can't get the kind of bite he wants. He's not getting off the corner as well as he'd like. So there is still more speed in that 24.
Darrell, he may be loose, but he may be leading here in a second.
But he smacked the wall off of 2 there with that right rear, but I don't think it hurt anything. Whoa, Jeff, be careful, buddy.
3 wide, 2 buggies.
Casey Mears in the middle.
I think you're gonna see some right rear damage on that car when we get a chance to look at it, and it touched the wall. I don't think it hurt anything.
Nope, he wants the lead.
All the way, all 4 wheels below that white line on the apron. Let's see if he can win the drag race down this front straightaway going into turn 1. His car has been getting into the corner really nice.
And Jeff Gordon leads a lap. It's the first lap he has led today.
I want you to look at that side by side. Remember, we've already seen over 200 miles per hour going off into turn 1.
Darrell, I don't see a whole lot of teammate cooperation here, do you?
No, Jeff will be the first to tell you. We race each other just like we are not teammates. We don't expect each other to give us anything. That's how we race each other.
Scott Riggs is back out there 9 laps down.
Now, in the last round of green flag pit stops, David Stremme was the first car to pit, and he is yet again as this battle for 7th rages on.
Yeah, the Dodges are another one of the makes that when you look back at last year and the year before, they tend to get on the low side of fuel mileage, a lot like the Toyotas. It looks like the Chevrolets and the Fords get the best mileage.
Now these 2 guys, Carl and Kyle here at the end of last night's race, Carl was leading the race and Kyle put a little shove on him to take the lead away right at the end of the race. So but obviously no harm, no foul, because they're racing each other very nicely and politely here.
I don't know, Darrell. I don't see a whole lot of give and take here. Do you?
Well, it could be just a little rivalry there. You know, Carl may be just trying to. What did Kyle tell little Wallace at Richmond? When you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Right.
I would remember that, I think.
Martin Truex 1 lap down makes his pit stop as we begin our 2nd consecutive round of green flag stops.
Carl Edwards going to win the battle this time in that 99 car.
Matt Kenseth.
Got us a race, boys.
Jeff Gordon and Greg Biffle. It's on.
It is. And you know what? Jeff Gordon's trying really hard, Larry, because he knows he needs to get ahead of Matt Kenseth on the track, because apparently that 17 bunch is going to beat him out of the pits, and he wants to be ahead of him when the next pit stop comes.
Here's what Jeff Gordon said just prior to the last restart.
17's in a different league, but you guys are doing great, and he's not beating us yet down pit road.
Tonight we're going to do what we're going to do. We can beat him on the racetrack. We got car enough. You're doing a great job, people. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Still having a hell of a lot of fun out here.
Right now, he is beating this 17 car on the racetrack, and I'm telling you, we got a great crowd here, and they are all standing on their feet right now.
You know something he told us the other day that I hadn't heard him say in a long time? I'm starting to work out a little bit, you know, and I tell you, one of the things that really pays off working out is late in these long races.
But Darrell, the 24 car didn't get off turn 2 that good the last time. Kenseth's going to take advantage, but Gordon's on the high side. He's keeping that 24 car wound up. He should win the battle back onto the front straightaway.
Gordon led the last lap, and Kenseth tucks in.
I tell you, Jeff's car steps out a little bit off of 2 over there every now and then. It did that last time by. And we saw him hit the fence off of 2 over there. He's got to watch that high line coming out of there.
Meanwhile, for the lead.
And we hadn't had a lot of battles for the lead with Kurt Busch, but Jeff Gordon in that 24 car, our points leader coming in here, goes to the bottom of the racetrack. He wants the lead.
They've just got this year, unlike any year before, the 24 bunch, Steve Letarte and them have figured out how to make the car better during the race. When they need to make the right changes, they're doing it this year.
But, you know, I think the 24 car is better. But, you know, we had the pleasure of sitting down with Jeff Gordon. I think Jeff Gordon is on his mark as well this year.
Yeah, I think he's more comfortable with his role, not just in racing, but in life in general. He's a husband, a dad. He's working out. He's in good shape. really all paying off for him.
It's almost as if as they went into the second half of last year, they thought the wins would come to them, and he realized he's going to have to go out and fight for them, and that's what he's doing this year.
I just think, I always think back to Jeff Gordon, how he won championships under the old point system, or under the structure of the old point system. Just don't beat yourself, hang around, get those good top 5 or 10 finishes. Doesn't work that way anymore. Got to get out there and win some races.
But look at these guys. We got 151 laps to go. Look at him, and look at Gordon get loose when he moved up the racetrack. Got to regroup here now.
Yeah, right.
Kurt Busch retakes the lead.
Maybe I didn't want that lead as bad as I thought I did. I'll just fall back here.
And here's a battle for third between Casey Kane in the 9, Jimmy Johnson in the 48 car. Of course, the 48 team lost some spots on that last pit stop as we're closing in on 13 laps to go. You just saw Coach Gibbs. He wants to break a streak of being able not to close the deal here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Casey Kane had to close Jimmy Johnson quickly because they're getting right up into lap traffic. Here comes Johnson back on the inside. But that's where John Andretti's lap car is.
Yeah, John got out of the way nicely, though.
Yep.
And while they've been going side by side, that 24 car, Jeff Gordon back there in the 5th spot, he's closing in there. You see him right there about 3 car lengths back.
Yeah, they made a good adjustment on that car, the 24 car, this last pit stop, and he is a lot better than he was the last run.
Well, they just showed Kyle Busch 10 laps to go, and Denny Hamlin has closed it down to 0.6 of a second as we watch the battle rage on for third.
There's 10 laps to go. There's about a dozen cars sitting out there in front of him he's going to have to deal with.
Yeah, that's going to be the tough part. I mean, he's got a cluster of cars here in front of him that he's going to be right up in the middle of when we come down here to the last few laps of this race. That could be the difference.
The 8 laps to go this time for Kyle Busch, and the 18 car has about a half-second lead over Denny Hamlin with a lot of lap cars in front of him
today.
This is a battle right here for 11th, 12th, and 13th. Kyle Busch in the 18, Casey Kane. You can see the run he gets on the high side in the 9, and Jeff Burton in the 31.
Just ahead of them, Kyle Busch hanging on to 11th place, 13 seconds back of the leader, Steve.
And Mike, Kyle Busch just said, my biggest problem is I'm tight after the center of the corner. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm just not that fast right now.
And Darrell, isn't it amazing? The first 30 or 40 laps, all we heard was loose, loose, loose. Now here we are getting close to lap 100. It's like maybe some rubbers went down on this track now, and we're starting to hear that tight, tight, tight.
That's what you would expect to hear. You know, if the track and the car and the tires and all go like they should, being a little loose to start with, and usually not a bad thing. Just don't want to be over the fence.
And if they tightened it up on that first stop, that may have jumped the fence.
That's exactly what I think happened to the 24 car.
But I'm going to tell you what.
Here comes the 99.
Here he comes, that 99 of Carl Edwards. Look at him go through the middle of the corner.
Something happened to Jeff Gordon over there off of 2. Had to really get up out of the throttle, and Carl got an incredible run down the back. I don't know if he's going to be able to make the pass yet or not, but he is there.
He will through 1 and 2, though. He'll take that thing to the bottom. Gordon's going to get a run on the high side, but look at Stewart in the 14 car. He wants some of this action.
You know, I think something happened to Jeff Gordon's car right there the last time by. Looked good that time off turn 2. What happened to the 24, Krista?
Well, he didn't say a word on that lap, but for about the last 20 laps, he said that his car has continually gotten looser. But on that lap, he did not say a word.
Well, I'm going to tell you what happened right there.
Block.
Carl Edwards got Jeff Gordon blocked behind the 20 car of Joey Logano.
He could have made the pass, Larry, but he was pinned down on the bottom. Carl was. There he goes. Carl was pinned on the bottom off 4, and the car got sideways with him. Cost him some.
Going to try to come back outside. 24 is outside.
I tell you what, that 24 car, no matter what, gets a run off that corner.
Well, he's got that high. When you run that high line, you're going to have some straightaway speed. What Carl wants to do is try to clear him and slide up in front of him. Slide up in front of him now.
Line, clear the 24. You're all clear.
And that time, he got him pinned behind Max Pappas in the 13 car.
Oh, these guys are working. It's like a dance. They're just dancing around the racetrack.
After you. No, after you.
They're practicing their crossover moves. And
now, is this fun racing, Darrell?
It is.
Do you start getting a little ill at each other?
No, this is when I'll show you. No, I'll show you. Well, let me show you.
Comes Gordon on the bottom, the 24 car. They're side by side. 8 to go.
Drag race. 24. He's out there.
Look at the run that 39 car got. I mean, he ran up on some hard. He had to jump out of the gas 3 wide in 2.
Oh, boy, here we go. This is going to be tight right here.
But they make it, and Stewart closes right up.
Oh, and a nice little bump draft down the back at Lowe's Motor Speedway.
You
Way to
won't
go.
see that in stepping the All-Star race. Newman all the way up against the wall. There's still 3 wide.
He's got him. He's got him. Oh, there we go.
Keep your foot in it.
Keep your foot in it.
Still
Keep your
going.
foot in it. Ah!
Pow.
How they going to all miss him? He has, and I just think great things are going to happen for Montoya as we go down the road here the rest of this year.
Rudiman wants the lead back.
Boy, he does, and he's after it.
Montoya will lead that lap. Remember, gets those 5 bonus points for leading the lap. DW said it in the gas and go. He's the man that makes the chase, the biggest surprise in 2009.
Now it's a foursome. Greg Biffle in the 16 joins the fight for the lead as Kyle Busch and Jimmy Johnson close in on this battle. Montoya high, Rudiman low.
I mean, look at this battle for the lead. Side by side, they're almost 2 by 2.
I think what they're trying to do, they know the tires aren't going to last very long, so they're going to use the heck out of them while they're good.
While we got them.
Use them while you got them. And here goes
comes
David.
Sorensen. He's got to run behind Rudiman. That moves Montoya back to 3rd. Reed Sorensen has not yet led a lap in 2009.
But boy, he is. I think he's going to today, Mike, because that car is jumping up off the corner.
It just flies through the middle.
Here's how it came about.
Looked like David got a little loose. Allowed Reed to get a fender. Whoa, you got it real loose right there. Reed gets a run on him, goes down, and that broke the momentum of the 0 in the 43, and it gave Biffle a chance to try to make a pass here, but the 43 is so strong up off the corner.
Here they come again. Biffle on the bottom. 9 to go. Stewart to the bottom. Biffle goes up high, too high.
Looks like the All-Star race.
Now Biffle may try the crossover. He gets the good run off turn 2, side by side.
Jimmy Johnson's loving every bit of this. Race each other, boys. Race each other. I am here.
Tony Stewart is going to become the 11th different leader today. Side by side for 2nd.
Jimmy Johnson is there. He's got him now, Larry. Those 4 tires really starting to pay off.
We've got over 100,000 people here. We don't need any seats. They're all standing right now.
Jimmy's getting that high line is giving him such great straightaway speed. That's what's really making the difference.
Kenseth 4th, Kurt Busch 5th, Kane, Newman, Edwards, Martin, and Mears the top 10. Then Boyer, Earnhardt, Hornish, McMurray, and Logano. And the rest of the lead lap, Harvick, Burton, Rudiman, Sorensen, and Ambrose 20th.
Watch this 48 car get off in turn 2 now. He really gets a roll down the back.
But Darrell, the 14 car went to the high side. He didn't give up a lot that time in 1 and 2. Now Stewart goes high, Johnson goes low.
I think Jimmy Johnson's just baiting these guys. I think he wants them to think he can only run the top side maybe.
Jimmy Johnson, class of the field all day. He's led 295 laps. He wants to lead 1 more.
Boy, I tell you, Jimmy overdrove turn 1 that time and lost a bunch of time. Gains it back. But that's going to be the challenge. Can I get by this cat?
There'll be 5 to go. This time, Johnson all the way up to the top of the racetrack.
He'll never make it up there.
What a drive he gets off the corner, though, Darrell, coming down the hill and gets right to Stewart's bumper.
There he goes to the bottom, side by side through 1 and 2. Stewart should get the run.
He's going to get
off the
loose.
high side.
Going to get loose down there. I think that's what he knows. His car is really free. He knows he can't make that pass down there, I'm pretty sure.
2 of America's best, slugging it out in equal equipment with 4 laps to go. Who's going to win it?
Well, you got him, dude. You got him.
I don't know about that.
Chad Canals coaching his driver, Jimmy Johnson.
He's going to have to sneak by him. He's going to have to get a nose on him right here or off one of these corners where Tony can't move up in front of him. As long as Stewart can beat him up and move up in front of him, he'll never get by him.
Darrell, I like it better when that 14 car runs high through 1 and 2. I don't think he can do it staying on the bottom.
Here they come.
3 to go.
They almost touch.
Don't do that to me, dude. There's one thing I know about that guy in that 14 car. Don't start beating around on him.
I believe he might get the run this time off of turn 2. Let's see if he can complete the pass. He's going to have to go high in 3 and 4.
I believe that little bump down the front here. There he goes. He's got the lead now.
And Johnson's got that big drive off turn number 4. This should carry him past Stewart and into the lead with 2 to go.
But these guys are driving these cars right now. They're not just riding around biding their time. They're driving.
Look at that, man. 48 is loose, and he's getting a little bit even little bit of help off the 16, but he got loose getting in at 2.
Yeah.
And that's all Biffle needed to say, well, here, I'll give you a little bit more.
Yeah, just let me help you in the corner a little bit farther there. But see Jimmy power back on the outside.
Back on the high side.
You saw Biffle. Biffle had the line on the inside, the old line. Oh, man. I'm going to shut up and just watch this because this is good.
For the lead. Speeds at the line.
And Edwards
has
you
caught
can
up.
see right, because when those guys are sliding around racing like that, that's what Carl wants to see. That's going to put them right there in the rear bumper.
Joe Nemechek, Dave Blaney have gone to the garage, along with Patrick Carpentier and David Gittleland.
You know, a minute ago we heard Jimmy's car. It's hard to tell whether it's just free across the tunnel or if it pushes out and then snaps loose. Because you could hear him work the throttle a little bit.
But that last lap, it looked like it was loose getting in.
Yes.
But you're right. You know, it just depends. But see how he's right there? That's not helping any. That's taking some air off. And here comes Carl. And he had the run off of 2, and now he's going to take the. Well, I don't want to say now he's going to take the spot.
Oh,
he's going to take the spot, but
is this really Pocono?
This is good racing right here.
This is really good racing right here.
3 wide right here almost. 3 different lines.
Again, here's what we're talking about.
There. Go get him, bud.
This is where the draft comes in a little bit. We'll see if Biffle goes with his teammate here. He's going to stay on the high side.
5 bonus points for Carl Edwards. He led the lap.
And I'm going to tell you something, and this is racing for the lead, but you heard the 48, how long he was out of the gas over the tunnel a minute ago.
Now watch, somebody's going to bust loose
Still
here.
outside, 16's there with him.
Hello, Biffle.
Now Jimmy's sitting duck.
Yeah.
And he's got to take 3rd spot right now, especially with the wear on the tires. You don't want to be in that high line going through turn 2. So there were some teammates working together there on that move.
But now Biffle's mad because he did all the work to get Jimmy out of position, and Carl's leading the race and got the 5 points.
Mark Martin runs in the 3rd spot, then Denny Hamlin and Jeff Gordon. Edwards, Kurt Busch, Montoya, Stewart, Vickers, the top 10. 22 cars run on the lead lap. Johnson right there.
I think Jimmy wants by. It's just, I'm not sure. I just think his car might be a little bit too loose to get past him. What are they saying, Lindsay?
All I'm hearing down here is Chad saying, go get him, man, go get him. They really believe that they can make it all the way on fuel, and they feel like Jimmy's just a step behind. But once he gets past Biffle, if he can, this race could be his, Bill.
Taking a look down on the bottom, but he's so loose right there. Look at that car get loose.
Oh.
And he makes it even worse when you've got a car on your outside. And that's what I just said a lap ago. I think Jimmy's trying to get by. I just don't think he's got the car. I think the car's too loose for him.
Biffle's waving to him?
That wasn't a wave. That was a what are you doing hand.
Yeah, Biffle's waving to him saying, hey, you want to play that game? I'm going to play the game with you too. I'm going to run down on your door and pull you around. And that's what he did. He run down on his door to make him a little bit freer.
These are the leaders right here. This is on the left-hand box, Jeff Gordon and Denny Hamlin. Gordon is 4th, Hamlin is 5th. Mark Martin runs between those 2 packs in the 3rd spot.
And Biffle's not going to give him that high lane. Greg knows that's not the... He may have him there. Yep, he's going to be clear from there.
Got some traffic in front of them. Johnson slides in and gets the lead.
Wow. That was just a power move right there. To be able to cut in the middle of the corner, down where he had not been running. He had not run there in the last 4 or 5 laps.
Here he comes back.
Boy, you heard him breathe the throttle. Biffle trying to come back on Johnson.
Biffle's never going to go to the house quietly, okay?
and you know, if he's got if he's at the point where he's got to save fuel now, you're not going to be able to keep up with Jimmy Johnson and save fuel.
And you have to remember, no one is for sure able to reach the finish on their fuel load. You just don't know.
Biffle gets a run at him right here, you know what I mean? He gets down, he diamonds the corner kind of like the 48 car did on him. He's able to cut back across, get some fresh pavement, and come back up down the straightaway. But that 48 car's strong down the straightaway. Jimmy's willing to give up the outside line right now, where Biffle was never willing to give it up.
That 48 car looks like he's on a dirt track.
Yeah.
Out in behind Biffle, and look at this right here. Just
look at Edwards. Wow. Look at Allmendinger just cut right across the nose of Carl Edwards getting in the corner.
See, Carl's got down on the white line down on the bottom. That was always a fun place to run if your car worked down there. It's hard. You can give up some getting off the corner, though, if you're not careful.
Well, they were 4 wide a moment ago, and this guy on the left, Robbie Gordon, was the guy up near the wall.
Robbie likes that high line. As a matter of fact, as high as you can possibly get without hitting the wall a lot of times. Really keeps his car wound up. See these guys really moving around a lot. A lot of trust with each other. See Kyle Busch back in there with Jeff Burton trying to make the way up towards the front.
Watch Carl Edwards go all the way down to that white line and just hug the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, you can make some time right now, but you have to be careful that you don't give up too much on this exit right here. As you can see, Carl's able to hang on. You see Reed Sorensen getting a real push from Brad Keselowski right there and going to take that spot back away.
And Keselowski got right side tires under that caution at lap 9, so he's got just a little fresher tires.
This is back 19th through about 29th in position. Ambrose is 19th, Sorensen 20th, Edwards 21. This group you're watching is David Reagan on the outside to make a pass.
Yeah, you can see the 3 wide right there. Reed Sorensen in the middle. Carl just can't seem to keep that momentum going. He can't get anybody to help him. These other guys are getting some push. That's really making a difference because of how much the draft works here as you're close to 200 miles an hour on both straightaways. See, Carl's done. He tried to move up. Now he's going down with his teammate, David Reagan. Really what makes this place so fun.
Just not quite as good as the 48, I guess.
Yeah, he's doing it well. That 48 car is just a little too strong for him right now.
Another Childress car to 33. A Boyer now trying to battle with Kenseth. That's for the 6th position. Well, look at the line difference for these two guys. One on the bottom of the track and one up near the wall. Vince?
The 33 of Clem Boyers, you see him battling on the inside there with Matt Kenseth, who's on the outside. Boyers' car is really loose. Kenseth's trying to conserve fuel, so it's an interesting confrontation between the two of these cars. You've documented how Boyers made his move up and is starting to close in on the gap in regards to the chase, and this is what they wanted to do, score a solid top 10 today and put some pressure on those other teams that are around the bubble, and they feel as though if they can do that on a consistent basis over the next couple of races, they'll make the chase. So far, so good today.
Where did Carl Edwards come in between these guys? They were on the bottom and the top, and Carl coming in the middle.
And Sam Hornish lurking right behind them.
What a great battle there for these guys here. 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th right together.
Yeah, Carl Edwards able to clear them as they come off of turn 2 now.
And behind these guys, the 07, good run for Casey Mears. He's in the top 10 in the 07 car. And behind him, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is 11.
And he's got those fresh tires. You see Logano right behind Jr. Looks like about a 4-wide battle back there.
Tell you what, guys, I've been watching Jimmy Johnson and Vickers out there running. I don't know if at this point, I think what I'd be doing, man, I'd be following Vickers.
That uses water to cool the oil, so, you know, that system is basically tied together, so that's why they're changing that whole thing. A little debris came up there and hit that thing. That's kind of unusual. You don't see that very much.
This group here is still racing. They've been racing for 20 laps with Reed Sorensen in there and Montoya. There's Vickers a part of that. Now you see Kevin Harvick's join the mix.
See Kurt Busch right in front of him up there, and that's 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, all trying to move their way toward the top 5, and Montoya continuing to be aggressive in spite of the fact he needs sort of to hang on that top 12 spot in the points. We wondered if Montoya would race it or what he would pace it. I guess no question now. He's going to race this right or race his way into the chase.
Well, he's got to keep running hard here, and you see he's got that back end hung out. He's letting it all hang out here tonight.
Yeah, you can't hang back. I mean, you know, his whole goal is to get top 10 finishes, and that's what he's trying to do right now, even though he sits just outside the top 10 after Vickers passes him there. But he's doing, I think, exactly what he wants to do right at this point in time of this race.
Whoop, little give and take right there. You see Vickers sliding right up in front of Montoya.
Last 2 times out, Juan Pablo Montoya has run in the top 10 much of the day and had trouble in the final laps, like happened at Bristol, where he had a cut tire with less than 40 laps to go, ended up logging a 25th place finish.
Ron Vickers looks like he has his car a little bit better now. It's taking a little time once again to come in, but he's able to make his way back into the top 10. Trying to take that ninth spot away from Kurt Busch, who was, again, our winner here back in March. See Vickers trying to make that bottom work, but Montoya gets such a run.
Thread the needle right there. Had some momentum. He wanted a place to take it. See, Hamlin's already caught the 24 again, and here comes that 29. He's going to blow right by both of these guys.
You can see Gordon's really started to struggle here. His car was fast there for about 25, 30 laps, and now he's starting to fall off some. Denny Hamlin's making his way back to him. Don't know if he's going to get the lead back before Kevin Harvick passes him, though.
Got to believe Kevin Harvick is hungry to lead a lap. He has led only one race all year long. That was 9 laps at Las Vegas. None since.
That's a long dry spell for Harvick.
There's Hamlin taking the lead back as they get to turn 1. But Kevin Harvick is really moving, Jamie.
Well, I'll tell you, a lot of confidence going to victory lane last night. He actually learned a lot of things. He told me some things he learned last night that he could put into this race tonight. What was that? Well, they made adjustments last night, anticipating some changes. They didn't work. They ended up going back to how they started the race. That's exactly what they've done tonight. They didn't make any changes the last 2 stops. He knows what's going to happen with this racetrack. It's working out. The last stop, though, they dropped the lug, went back a little bit, but he is on fire. Vince?
Another 24 of Jeff Gordon, as you see him right there in the mix of that threesome for the battle for the lead. Gordon says the car is loose off, and obviously the positions are starting to fall away from him as Hamlin and Harvick have gone by. But Steve Letarte, very calm on the radio, the crew chief, telling Gordon, hey, we just passed the halfway point in the race and the halfway point on these tires. We got a long way to go. Hang in there, be patient. We're good. We'll be back. You got to believe that Gordon's car, the way it's been tonight, they will be.
See the 83 now moving into the picture. Brian Vickers. We talked about how he was trying to get into the chase. 39 points out heading into the night, and now the 83 car being shown just 8 points back.
Got a battle for the lead now. Jeff Gordon trying to make this inside pass. Oh, man, that was tight.
Jeff Gordon has not led a lap tonight. Denny Hamlin has led the last 63, and Gordon makes the pass.
Yeah, Denny wasn't going to push the issue. He knows he has a really good car, but now he's just going to say, I can do that too.
So officially, Jeff Gordon has yet to lead a lap because they measured those laps led at the start-finish line. He's got to hang on coming out of turn 4. He will this time.
Three wide, man, look at this.
Sam Hornish in the middle of that mess on the inside. Jeff Burton on the outside of 33 of Boyer.
And Matt Kenseth sticking that nose in there.
Yeah, 16 right in front of him. Definitely not where these guys want to be right now. He's going to have to get their cars better and get out of this spot.
Yeah, Matt has to be aggressive. He can't sit back and just let it come to him. He's got to be aggressive and get up through there.
You know, he's not even really right now putting pressure on Brian Vickers to have to run in the top 5. Vickers is sitting here outside the top 10 actually, but he's still sitting in that 12th spot.
Denny Hamlin trying to look to the inside and retake the lead. Jeff Gordon will slam the door.
He's going to have some company here in a minute. Here comes Martin Truex in that one car.
It looked like he might have made his car a little better after that last pit stop. Martin would certainly like to get his race team a win.
He had such a great race last week, Martin Truex did, early, and then fell off at the end.
There's the bubble battle right side of your screen. The 18 car and the 83 Busch and Vickers. They're 13th and 14th. 83 Vickers came in 20 points back at 12th. The 18 of Kyle Busch came in 37 back. They got to get up and lead a lap and get it done. They got to be up probably in the top 5 to have any kind of shot. Back up front, Denny Hamlin had backed up about 3 or 4 car lengths and has now let his tires cool and moves underneath or tries to look underneath the 24 car for Jeff Gordon for the lead.
They've been running almost identical lap times for the last 20 laps, the 24 and the 11. So this is a good race, you can see. And now the 83 gets clear of Martin Truex in the one car.
And by doing that, Brian Vickers now will move to 12th in the point standings by 1 single point over Kyle Busch.
Okay, you see this battle for the lead now. It's heating up. Looks like Hamlin's going to get it away from Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, looks like Jeff's car's just gotten a little bit tighter yet. just the conditions that we were talking about earlier, this racetrack tightening up, and as it does in your race cars, that just
being shown in 10th position.
If he could get in front of that one car, which he just lost that spot, though, that would have put him up into that 12th spot. So that's how close everything is.
Look at Gordon. Man, he is all over Hamlin.
And these two cars, the left side of your screen, they have a bit of a history together. Right side of your screen, lead change. Jeff Gordon going by Denny Hamlin to retake the lead.
Boy, these two cars, the 24 and the 11, are really closely matched tonight.
Up there, I've been watching right behind them. Martin's been hanging closer this time, so he seems to be getting his car better and better too as these two guys battle for the lead. See Montoya able to take that spot away from Casey Kane.
And on the left side, it was the contact between the 9 and the 42 at Michigan that created some serious problems for Juan Pablo Montoya.
Yeah, and Casey Kane just came off of turn 4 completely sideways there. That allowed Clint Boyer to get by him, so looks like he's still fighting his car. Denny Hamlin's still trying to come back to the inside. What a great battle we have for the lead here.
Don't you love short track racing on a Saturday night in Richmond, Virginia? You got to wonder, you don't have to wonder, I should say, why the drivers and the fans say this is one of their favorite racetracks. Both entities say they love coming here. The drivers love the race, and the fans love the action all the way around this track.
Yeah, we couldn't have a better scenario. Here comes Hamlin back to the inside. Before the race get in the chase. And then have racing like this with two guys that are already in the chase just trying to collect some bonus points.
Mark Martin sitting back here just watching, said, I've been through this rodeo before here. I know exactly what you guys are going to do.
Yeah, the two up front don't have anything to lose. Mark, on the other hand, has a lot to lose. Now, you just keep these cars straight, boys.
That's right. Yeah, that's the main thing he's thinking. Y'all have fun racing, but don't get out of control.
We saw Denny Hamlin last night racing extremely hard for the lead, get up on the outside there and lose his car right in front of Kevin Harvick.
That's just part of that inside of him to want to do so well here at his home racetrack.
Denny Hamlin led 3 times for 101 laps, led the most laps last night, but because of that and having to come down pit road, finished a distant 17th in the NASCAR Nationwide Series race.
What a great battle these two are having right now, though. Hamlin just barely gets an edge, but then Gordon's able to come back on the outside. Dave?
And DJ, Denny's attitude is pretty much the same tonight as it was last night. Nothing to lose, going for the win. Remember, they came in here clinched in the chase, and Denny said that really frees me up, takes the pressure off. And in his words, it makes us a dangerous race team. I like that. Shannon?
Left side of your screen, the lead is the 42 car. And here goes Tony Stewart looking to the inside.
He's in there, taking advantage of this lap traffic.
That was quite a move he put on there.
John Andretti, the 34 car, just up high right in front of the 42.
Little crossover, though. Look here.
Yeah.
Here comes Montoya.
There'll be 3 wide here.
First race of the chase. How aggressive. And they will go in side by side in one. Montoya all the way down to the yellow line.
Oh, man. Stewart doesn't give him much room there either. Real tight racing.
No, and your track goes off camber a little bit there, too.
And up front, they are battling like it's the final 5 laps of the race.
Well, the intensity level really is high with Montoya. It looks like he really wants this league back. He wants to lead the most laps and try to get the most points out of here.
But he knows in what's been happening to him previously is he's been able to jump out to almost a 2-second lead. Then they run him down. He settles into about second. Right now, he's not able to get out there and get that lead. So that would concern him as to how far he may drop back if his car is going to do the same thing. See him battle back again.
Got a good run this time.
Man,
wheel to wheel down the backstretch.
Comes off the corner. Great.
Great side-by-side action. Now see if Montoya can get back in the throttle again early out of turn 4, which has been his strong suit thus far.
He used a lot of discipline getting into turn 3, Montoya did, so he could try to get that run off.
And how does Denny Hamlin's car stay on the outside here? Be able to battle Montoya wheel to wheel.
Denny Hamlin, the only Joe Gibbs car in the chase. Montoya, the first foreign-born driver to ever make it to NASCAR's postseason.
He's got a good run this time, Montoya does. He's going to get, oh man, just barely clear it. Hamlin.
Hamlin will try the crossover move, DJ, try to go back under him.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to have enough for Montoya. He's got that clean air now. You can see Denny gets in a little bit hard and a little bit low and drags that splitter.
Right now, Martin is still just putting a lot of pressure on Kurt Busch to get this lead. He really wants to get these points.
And that is Jeff Burton back there in the 3rd car in the 31. He is in 3rd position. He stayed on the racetrack. He's the 4-time winner here in New Hampshire.
Yeah, he's coming back from being spun earlier, so really good work here, and we really haven't seen his car show that kind of muscle, Andy, but just as we've seen these cars get up there in the front, they show a lot better.
It can just change everything to get this track position, and it's done that for Jeff Burton. Mark Martin got a good run off of turn 4, but now kind of loses that advantage off turn 2. All three of these cars are right together here.
You know, we got just under 100 laps to go now, Andy, and I was telling you something earlier. When we were racing here late 90s up to about 2004, 2005, we always figured in these last 100 laps that about 25%, 25 laps of these last 100 were going to be run under caution. We kind of figured our strategy around that. With these new cars, we haven't seen quite that many caution laps here, but we could see that today, and these guys planning strategy around that.
This race averages 8 caution flags, and we've already had 7. There's the 0-0 of David Rudeman, and you guys picked him as one of the non-chasers to keep an eye on today.
And now Martin gets the lead away from Kurt Busch.
This is very important to Mark Martin, who right now is the points leader again. He will get 5 more bonus points, which puts him up 45 points on the 2 car that's running in second spot right now.
See Mark Martin able to hold on to that point lead by having the lead in the race. 45 points over Kurt Busch as they run.
Still working on getting him up to speed with this crew. He's done well the past 2 weeks. Chad told me that, but he definitely wants to make sure that he knows how Chad operates and what he expects out of him, but also how to encourage him after a situation like that.
Well, it's a high-pressure situation. These pit stops are. Every member of the team makes a difference.
And we'll see if Chad driver Jimmy Johnson can go get it back out there. Jimmy Johnson on the bottom of the racetrack couldn't hold the bottom, and now Kurt Busch pulls him again. We'll see if Johnson goes all the way down to the edge there, coming out of the corner to try to retake the lead.
These 2 cars have been very evenly matched through most of the race.
We're really seeing both grooves work. Actually, there's almost 3 grooves. You've got the bottom, the middle, and really up at the top. And here goes Mark Martin trying to take that spot back away from Casey Kane that he lost on the restart.
And you're also seeing on the left side of your screen that 17 car coming into the picture. Everyone in the garage thought he might be a factor today. I know the Roush Fenway guys have struggled the last 2 or 3 months, but he was the most consistent car, talking about Matt Kenseth, in the final practice session on Saturday.
You put that up with his pit crew doing a really good job. As you saw, they picked him up a spot on pit road on that last caution. And you have a good combination there. It looks like Matt has a really good car.
You see on the right side of your screen, the 2 and 48 cars are just so close. Jimmy Johnson not able to get by. Keeps working on him.
We see the 2 car running a higher line this time than what he was the last time. He'd been pretty much down close to the bottom for the first part of the run.
And now for the first time today, we're seeing Tony Stewart become a factor. It's the highest he's been all day. He's in 11th position and trying to move in on the top 10.
And Tony knows there's still over 200 laps to go as Jimmy Johnson does take the lead now from Kurt Busch.
We heard Vince say.
New leader, 48.
Yeah, you can see just how difficult it is. Brad Keselowski has a really good car. We've shown that, but he's really loose right now, it looks like. He's not able to make that pass on Kurt Busch, who has just 2 tires from that pit stop.
Stewart can't quite clear him either. He drives the car under him, entering the corners, and they drive back by him coming off. Shannon.
Guys, I spoke with crew chief Tony Erie Jr. this morning. I asked him about working with Brad. He said, you know, I approach working with inexperienced drivers the same way he worked with Dale Jr. I have everything be very consistent every weekend. This is the same car Brad has driven in every race for Hendrick Motorsports. And when they unload off the truck, they start with the same setup each and every weekend that they work together. They then tweak from there. He said it's that consistency that really helps Brad on the racetrack.
Well, he has certainly come a long way. We're talking about Brad Keselowski as a Nationwide Series driver and also as a NASCAR Sprint Cup driver. He will run one more time in that Hendrick car this year, and that'll be at Charlotte coming up in the middle of October.
You see those 3 lanes, all 3 of them really equal there coming off the corner, but they're all using different lanes through the middle of the corner.
He probably wishes Tony Erie Jr. could help him get by this 2 car right now because he is faster. He just can't find a way around Kurt Busch on the bottom. Yeah, that'll be a teammate of his next year with Kurt Busch. He's not worried about that right now. He's thinking about how he could get around, and he is able to make that pass. You see Tony Stewart trying to pass Brad
And here the battle for on the right side of your screen to be the first car lap down if we were to get a caution. The 88 has now run down the 99 of Carl Edwards. And these guys, as you said, Andy, back and forth trying to get in that valuable spot.
Oh, yeah, they're not just going to be riding around right now. They're going to race hard for this spot. That caution could fly at any moment, and they want to make sure their car's out front. And that's what we're talking about, a gamble really paying off. If you're just trying to get a solid finish, you wouldn't try to stretch that and maybe try to get that win. But with them not being able to make it, it's worth a shot to try to gain some point.
Yeah, I've watched Jimmy Johnson here and running Montoya pretty hard. Just wonder if he's trying to make him use up some more fuel than what he was really wanting to at that particular time.
Let's check in where Shannon is caught up with Brian Vickers.
Well, guys, he was the Cinderella story of the chase. I know this chase has not started the way that you guys have wanted it to. Now you're back in the garage with an engine. Can you guys rebound in the next 8 races?
Anything's possible. I mean, obviously, we're off to a slow start. The Hendrick cars are really, starting to walk away with the chase. But, they've done a good job. I just want to get out of Kansas, to be honest. It's been a long weekend for me. But, I thought we had a good car today, and we started out a little tight. And it got worse and worse and worse. We never could get a handle on it. And then I was up on top of the track trying to chase grip, trying to find some grip, and I got in the marbles and lost. And that was completely my fault. I feel bad about it. Hate it for the guys. But we just weren't as good as a whole as we needed to be today. We just absolutely weren't. And, the engine was the only thing that just put us out of our misery. But, it's not what we wanted, obviously. We were really looking to get to 1.5 miles and have a good run. But what do you do?
All right, we regroup and we go to Fontana. Guys?
Well, thinking 3 wide a moment ago. Jimmy Johnson in between Montoya and Gordon, and they're still in there.
4 wide.
Here goes Montoya on the bottom of the racetrack. That's Elliott Sadler up high. And Mark Martin said, I'm going to play.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the 42's trying to save any fuel right there. Oh, wow, that's great racing.
That's 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th right on your screen there. Martin now pulling right to the rear deck of the 48 of Johnson.
See, again, after they get a few laps on the tires, how difficult it is to make that pass down on the inside.
There's the points differential there. It was 10 points when the day began. It's 6 points now with Johnson back in second and Montoya 57 back in third. Final laps here at Kansas Speedway. 42 laps to go. A lot of people thinking about, do I have enough fuel to make it? And can I afford to gamble to get there to the checkered flag?
Boy, what a race these guys have going. Now, they're not able to save fuel while they're racing this hard. And Jeff Gordon, he's not giving any quarter to these guys because he wants to try to keep them behind him.
I think we've seen these 3 Hendrick cars that we're looking at in here. They've pretty much said we can't make it to the end when they made their pit stop. But Montoya is the one in this group that we wondered if he was going to be able to as long as they stayed out. He's racing awful hard to be saving fuel.
Yeah, he's kind of forced into racing hard here. He either has to try to get by these cars and get a gap where he can save some fuel or let them go. It's kind of a hard decision, really.
The drivers like this a lot better, even if it hurts their handling.
Yeah, I promise you. Yeah, we've all been in that situation where it burned. You tried to get the shoes right and the floorboards right now, but it will happen. And that was just extremely hot day. And you obviously don't have that today as we see Montoya trying to take the lead back away from Jimmy Johnson right here, and he's going to do that. But these guys are enjoying this temperature a lot more than what they did that year.
It is perfect weather out here, and I can see just beyond the racetrack the sun is shining on some of the landscape behind the racetrack, so it'll be on this racetrack before long.
Back on Labor Day when this race normally would have run this year, it was 105 degrees here in Fontana, California.
Barely there, you're good.
And now the heat's really on the racetrack with the competition as Jimmy Johnson comes driving back underneath Montoya.
Yeah, you'd think we were in the last 50 laps of this race instead of the first 50. These guys going at it hard as they can, but that's the way this championship battle is going to be for these guys too.
Okay, when you sit here like this, Dale, and you feel like you got one car to beat, like, man, look at Jimmy Johnson. But do you think that maybe they're thinking about leading the most laps even this early in the race?
There's no doubt that both of these guys, they want to do that. And I'm sure that Jimmy Johnson and Chad Knaus are looking at that scenario. They know that pays extra points that could be very valuable before this is all over.
Right now it's Jimmy Johnson who has led 16 and Montoya has led 17. And look at the point standings there. You see Montoya now.
Last lap 28.95, 3 wide.
And here
comes to be 4 wide.
Tony to the bottom.
This can't work, guys.
4 wide. Keep coming, keep coming.
And Ryan Newman backs out a little bit to give some room there. Tony goes by. Strimmy not wanting to back out. He's driving to get a job next year.
Holy cow, look at Strimmy. Now goes the Biffle.
And Biffle trying to keep it down out of traffic up across.
Hold her back straight. Nothing coming at you. Still nothing coming at you. In the grass. Wait.
I heard somebody say that wasn't going to work. I don't know.
Dale Jr.'s got trouble again off of turn 4. Another flat right front tire. It's like he may be able to make it back around to pit road if he can get a break in traffic and get down.
That's the problem at this track, though. This car's all the way around the racetrack, and you got a flat tire. It's hard to get down.
We stay green, no caution thus far, and he's trying to limp that car down the back straightaway now. There should be an opening if he can go over now.
Yeah, he's got it. He finally made it over.
We will stay green here at Martinsville. 140 laps to go. Now, Andy, they're going to be moving into their fuel window here pretty soon where they could make it on one more stop.
Yeah, but it's still all about tires here, Doc. You know, they can make it on fuel possibly. You see Denny Hamlin now making that move inside.
Now they're going to be 3 wide here off of turn 2.
Hamlin inside of the 48 car there, who's inside the 16 of Biffle. And Hamlin now will stay there as they come in turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, this is a spot Denny Hamlin hadn't had to use his bumper. His car is just a little bit better.
Going to have to make this pass in a hurry because they're going to be moving in on some traffic in front of them. That's 2 wide, Strimmy and Andretti. Now they follow that single file as they stay doubled up here. Hamlin still trying to get the pass made.
Yeah, he pushes Jimmy up a little bit out of the groove right there. He's able to take the lead.
Jimmy not quite ready to give it up, but don't give Hamlin a little tap.
Like Rusty was talking about, Denny Hamlin said he had a car that was really good on long runs, and now with this run, he's been able to run the 48 down.
Okay, this is a race to the lead right here. Clint Boyer had a 12.6 second four-tire stop right there, and that's what's got him in contention for the lead. He also pitted just a lap earlier than Tony Stewart. Harvick, man,
both of these guys were behind Jimmy Johnson also as they battle for the lead as they come up on this traffic now. Jimmy Johnson's back in the 5th spot. I saw as he came into the pits and even down pit road, he was extremely cautious, which is exactly what he should be doing at this point in time. He doesn't want a penalty, but I think that he's showing up just what their thinking is now.
Yeah, I think that's part of the plan for Jimmy. I think the pit crew also very methodical. 15-second stop, I think that's exactly what they're shooting for.
You see Robbie Gordon going a lap down as these guys are still battling side by side. The bottom of the racetrack, Harvick. Up top is Boyer. And the car in front of them, the 0-2, David Gilliland, trying to stay on the lead lap.
And look at this, man. This is a whale of a race. You got these top 3 right here, and then you got Mark Martin chasing them down. Jimmy Johnson just behind this group.
Tony Stewart, who had been leading, now trying to decide, where do I go? Do I go between them when one goes high and one goes low? Yeah. Now Mark Martin being shown in 4th position, Jimmy Johnson back in 5th. That means that Mark Martin would gain something. Of course, now Jimmy Johnson has led a lap. He has the 5 bonus points. Mark is yet to lead today.
And Mark would love to get up there and battle for this lead and get those 5 points.
Yeah, he did a great job getting on and off of pit road even to have these guys in sight because he had lost touch with the leaders for a little bit there at the end of that first run. Here comes Tony Stewart on the inside.
Tony able to get down on the bottom of the racetrack and run that middle groove and try to take the spot away from Clint Boyer. Stewart had led 20 consecutive laps prior to that first scheduled pit stop when they came in on lap 52.
Well, it has to be pleasing for Richard Childress and this entire organization to see these cars up here battling for the lead. They've really struggled at times earlier this year, but seem to have things really worked out now for their drivers.
Yeah, it's really an affirmation, too, of what they're doing is working. I mean, that's a big thing going into this last race of the year, going into the offseason, knowing that what you're working on is in the right direction.
Tony Stewart now middle of the racetrack. That's Michael Waltrip up high. Tony in the middle as they attempt to put Michael Waltrip a lap down. Harvick able to make the move, and now Tony still running in 2nd position. We have had 6 lead changes, 6 different leaders.
And Mark Martin sneaking in the picture here.
Now Burton goes down and will take that spot away from Boyer, 3rd position.
See another car there, the 11 car. Denny Hamlin, he had a qualifying effort that put him way back too. Now he's made his way up into the top 10 already, up into the 8th spot.
Yeah, Hamlin started back in 38th position.
I can't remember a mile and a half that we've seen race this good lately. It's a great race.
It's all over the place here. I mean, it just, there's so many grooves here, and you get your car hooked up, man, just makes it great. A lot of fun for the drivers.
You mentioned they changed this configuration entering the 2003 season here to add the progressive banking, and it's really changed the racing here.
It has, and the drivers all like it, but I think the biggest thing is it has changed the racing. We didn't see this much passing in an entire 400-mile event when the track was a lot flatter than this.
And give a call to Goodyear, by the way. They brought a new left side tire here, that the one they run last year, the one they ran at Texas, Andy, that added a lot of grip for these cars.
Yeah, they brought a better left side tire. It has a little more grip, a little softer left side, and that's really, I think, enhanced this racing we're seeing. I think that's a big reason for it.
I can tell you, Jimmy Johnson, we look here, Tony Stewart to the outside, Denny Hamlin to the inside. That's not a position he wants to put himself in.
That's 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th on your screen. And Jimmy Johnson right there in the eye of the storm behind the 2 car and right in front of Tony Stewart. Again, if you just joined our coverage, Jimmy Johnson did lead early, so he's gotten the bonus points for leading a lap. He only has to finish 27th or better to win the championship.
See the run there that you get up high as Tony Stewart really makes that run down the back straightaway to take that spot away from Jimmy Johnson.
We might mention Jeff Burton now starting to ease in on the second place car of Juan Pablo Montoya.
And he's been beside Montoya a couple of times now on this bottom of the racetrack, but Montoya's using that high side to power by on the straightaways.
Right side of your screen, you see Jimmy Johnson there running. That is 6th and 7th, Boyer and Johnson.
Now these two racing for second are actually catching Kevin Harvick, who's got clear racetrack around him, no traffic at all. They're actually racing each other and running faster lap times.
We were talking about Jeff Gordon earlier too as we watched these battles, but apparently he has no tire issue. It's just a matter of his car was extremely loose or something on that restart. He's fallen back to 15th, but he is running some pretty competitive times right now.
31 car just can't quite get it to stick coming up off the corner. And watch Jimmy Johnson now will try to go in on the inside and make this pass. Johnson being aggressive here in the first 100 laps. 15, 16, 17. Jimmy Johnson going downstairs inside of the 24 car.
Still 3 wide. Still 3 wide.
Oh, Jimmy. And the 29 car now moving right in on the back of Jimmy Johnson. Kevin Harvick.
Be 4 wide here in a second.
Yeah, and that's about the worst scenario you'd want in a 3 wide situation. Then a guy gets right on your bumper to loosen you up even more. That's why he's a champ. Look at him go.
Jimmy Johnson trying to drive that 48 car into NASCAR history, trying to become the first driver in the 61-year history of the sport to win 4 consecutive NASCAR Sprint Cup titles. See Martin Truex up there, he's in 6th. See Jeff Gordon back in 7th. Johnson and Kane are there 8th and 9th. Harvick now going by Casey Kane.
These guys racing 3 wide, almost 4 wide right here. Jimmy's glad he's put that in his rearview mirror.
Just 64 laps to go when the day began. Jimmy Johnson had a 108-point lead. Right now it is 141 points over Mark Martin, who's being shown back in 15th position. Jimmy Johnson chasing NASCAR history. No one has ever done it. Jimmy could go where no driver has ever gone before in NASCAR by winning 4 consecutive titles. Right now he's trying to go where there's no traffic and having a tough time because the 1 car is right behind him, Truex.
Jeff Gordon had to get out of the gas right there before he got into the 1 car. That was close.
Again, Jeff Burton is your leader. Kyle Busch and Kurt Busch running 2nd and 3rd. Hamlin 4th.